I wanted to take a moment and I wanted to talk about something that pops up a lot in denture support groups, and that is people who feel like they are failing as a new denture wearer, people who are getting ready to start this journey, and they are afraid that they are going to struggle because they see a lot of posts from people who are struggling. And the thing with prosthetic teeth is that I don't feel, and a lot of people don't feel, that dentists approach it in the manner that they should, and that is approaching this journey as you would somebody who has a prosthetic limb. We are really expected to just kind of adjust to having our teeth extracted like it's no big deal. That's just teeth, no big deal. Nobody says, oh, it was just your leg or your arm that was amputated. No big deal. They're like, oh my goodness, I can't, how are you doing? I know that must be really traumatic. Nobody asks someone who has to have all of their teeth extracted, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, that must be so traumatic. I can't imagine what that's like. The approach and attitude is often, it's just teeth. It's just teeth. What's the big deal? But it's not just teeth, and it is a big deal because there's just so many reasons why it's a big deal. One, when you have your teeth extracted, there are so many nerve endings in our gums that when our teeth are extracted, those nerve endings are severed. It causes a lot of pain, swelling. We have to adjust to that. And then once you get past that healing phase and you're adjusting to dentures, if you have immediate dentures, or if you go months and months without having dentures at all and you get dentures because you didn't get healing dentures, then you have to adjust to everything about dentures. There's a weight to dentures that people just do not really understand. In your hand, they feel so light. They do not feel like they weigh that much. But when you put them on your jaw and you have them here and here and they're sitting there, that's a lot of weight that your mouth is just not used to. Your muscles are not used to having these bulky things in your mouth. They have to adjust to that. So it's a lot more challenging than people understand and realize, because you have to get used to a whole new normal. The weight of dentures, how you use them. If you're not using adhesive, you have to learn how to position your tongue, how to hold your mouth. There's just a whole lot of things that you have to learn. You have to relearn eating. Even if you use adhesive, you still have to learn different techniques to help your dentures stay in place and not shift and move around. Like, for example, you need to find your bite points. I talk about this a lot in the videos when I eat. My bite points are here and here. Some people's bite points are a little further back, some are a little more forward, but eating, just kind of going straight forward for people, even people who use adhesive, can cause your dentures to shift, pop a little bit. And so you need to find your bite points. You have to adjust eating in a new way. It is much easier if you use your tongue, split your food in half and divide it so that you're chewing evenly on both sides so that your dentures aren't going to rock. Very critical if you're not using adhesive. And even if you are using adhesive, like I've done videos where I'm eating licorice. So when I eat the licorice, I absolutely have to divide the licorice onto both sides because it's very solid. And if I just eat on one side, even with adhesive, my dentures are going to rock because that pressure on a really substantial, solid piece of licorice is going to cause a little bit of movement. So you need to learn that. You need to learn how to form your words. Your tongue has to learn to accommodate having this bulky thing in your mouth. So it has to adjust and adapt to having space that wasn't filled up before. Filled up. Your muscles in your mouth have to adjust to having space filled up that is not filled up with natural teeth. So there's a lot of things that we have to adapt to. And if you don't adapt day one, it's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. Even if week 1, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 6, if you're in the healing phase and you have healing dentures and your gums are shrinking and shifting and things are healing, there's going to be days. One day your denture may fit perfectly, wonderfully. Everything is going well. And the best way I can compare this is when you get a haircut and your hair looks great for a little while and then it gets a little long. And there's like this middle phase where it is absolutely perfect. Like you just hit this perfect spot. and then it grows just a tiny bit, and then you know it's time for a new haircut because it just changed. And that is how it is with dentures. One day they may fit really great, and then the next day they don't. And it's time for a soft reline. It's time for some sort of an adjustment that needs to be done because your gums shrunk and it just shifted everything. One day was great, next day is not. That is what happens with dentures in the healing stage. And that is frustrating for people, and they feel like they've done something wrong. If you can't just pop your dentures in and eat, people think, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I struggling? Prosthetic teeth are not like toy vampire teeth that we put in as kids. Lightweight, not noticeable. Dentures are noticeable. The weight is noticeable. The bulk is noticeable. Everything is extremely obvious to our bodies because it's something that it has to adjust to. So if you are struggling, if you're just having these moments, I promise you are not failing. The majority of people who have prosthetic teeth go through these. Even people who you know who have had dentures for years, who say, no, I've never had a problem. You know what? It's been so long since they got their dentures, maybe 20, 30, 40, 60 years, and they don't remember what it was like when they first got dentures. But they had an adjustment period. Don't let them fool you by telling you that they didn't. And a lot of people who have the same pair of dentures for decades, the odds are their dentures do not fit as well as they think they do. And I know this because of my last pair of dentures that I had for 14 years. I would have swore to you on the last day that I had that pair of dentures, they fit fine. Would have told you all the way up and down, they fit fine. Then I got my new dentures, and I realized that my other dentures did not fit well. These fit really well. My last pair did not. But I was so used to my previous pair of dentures that I would have sworn to you that they fit just fine because my mouth had adapted to keeping them in, and I was just used to them. And I do strongly believe that that is the case with people who have had dentures long-term, grandparents, aunts, uncles, parents, people that you know who have had dentures for decades. My dentist even said that she sees that that is the case 9 out of 10 times, is that people think that their dentures fit well, but they didn't. They just adjusted to them. They got used to eating with poorly made teeth or flat teeth or tiny teeth or teeth that just they weren't functional, but they adjusted. So it seems like they're fine, but they're probably not. And it's just, they've gotten used to it. And a lot of the older people just don't complain about stuff. What else are they going to do? Are they going to adapt to having dentures, or they're not going to adapt to them? And a lot of people will say time and time again, well, I know so-and-so, I don't know anybody who struggled with their dentures. Well, I'm here to tell you, I know people who got dentures a long time ago, and they struggled with them. I know somebody who got dentures in the 1920s and never wore them because they were in their 20s when they got them. And they never wore them. They hated them. So they never wore them. They died when they were 98 years old, never wore their dentures. They also had about that much space in between their chin and their nose because their mouth had caved in that much in 70 plus years of not having teeth. My grandmother, who was born in 1928, she got dentures. I was born in 1967. She had dentures from the time, for as long as I could remember. So maybe since I can remember maybe being like 5, and she had dentures, she would pop them out. I don't know how old she was when she got them, but I know that in the early 1970s, she had dentures. So she may be in her 40s when she got them. She only wore them when she went out. She did not wear them to eat. She hated her dentures. So it's not like this is, people who are struggling with their dentures, who don't like their dentures, who don't eat with their dentures in, who only wear them when they go out. It's not like this is a new thing. People who got dentures a long, long time ago also had the same struggles, but they didn't complain. And why would they complain? Or maybe you didn't know them when they were younger and you don't know how it was for them, and they forgot about it. They forgot that they struggled because they just adapted. So don't think that you're doing something wrong if you are struggling. Just approach this journey in the same manner that you would if you had a prosthetic limb, and go from there. You would know that there's going to be an adjustment period, that you're not going to just have your limb amputated put on your prosthetic limb and take a long hike. You're going to have to take literal baby steps and learn how to use your prosthetic limb if it's a prosthetic leg, or you're going to have to, learn how to use your prosthetic arm and how to hold things and do all those things that you did not have to think about when you had your arm or your leg. And that is how it is with prosthetic teeth. You have to think about things that you have never had to think about before because you got your teeth when you were a baby and you just knew all of the things that you needed to know because it was just natural. And so now you have to relearn everything. So it's really important to just approach this journey in the same manner that you would if you had a prosthetic limb. The only problem is people with prosthetic teeth have to give themselves physical therapy. We have to teach ourselves all of the things. There are no classes. There's nothing talking about the psychological side of having prosthetic teeth. We have to just wing it. And we have to it's like we're expected to know all these things, and there's just no way to know all of these things. There are denture support groups on Facebook that you can join. There are people on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram who share videos, and they talk about their journeys so that they can help people. And there are places where you can vent, where you can ask for advice. And I really, really believe that it is important to do that. But it is almost 100 degrees. I'm upstairs in my bathroom. I'm sure you can tell it's really hot. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will talk to you later. Bye.